Hi everybody, I'm reacting to a video titled 10 Tips to Becoming Attractive. This was the content developed by Mr. Madan Gowri and I'm reacting to it. Well, all of the qualities are the tips that Mr. Madan Gowri has said in the video can very well be possessed by a beggar too. Now the question to be asked here is, how many of you all are willing to embrace and hug, walk hand in hand and shoulder to shoulder with a beggar? Because the first very sentence that he mentions is that attraction is not a physical entity. So he says that he is not going to be talking about the physical aspect, but the aspect that is not seen. And he says that the skin color that you're born with, the hair color that you're born with, and other things that you are born with can never be changed. He's totally wrong. Everything can be changed in the world that we are living in. So there's so the question of not being able to change doesn't arise at all. Anyway, I'm not going to go about that aspect. Now, the aspect that I wish to talk here is the first point. He says that in the movie industry, which is based on appearances, suddenly you might see a star coming up, and then in no time the star vanishes. And it is because of the lack of personality. Now, the important question here to be asked is, how would you differentiate looks from personality? Right? How are you going to make that demarcation? Now, the superstar or the star that is featuring in the set of movies is suddenly getting vanished is because of complacencies. Right? The problem is most of the actors and in other words most of the heroes and heroines and other stars who are featuring in the movie are suddenly vanishing because they are not keeping their personality. They are the physic up. The more to say, it's more the matter of physics. So what can the unseen personality do when the body has to be supported by crutches? Right? You have a sick body and you claim yourself to have a style of your own, to be respecting everybody, and you got hobbies, you have a pet and all these things. So what? But your body has to be supported by crutches. What good would that do to you? So the reason that movie stars vanish instantly after giving a hit or two, because they become complacent of their self. Right? They take things for granted. So they think that no matter what they do, their body is ever going to be slim and trim and firmly built and with all the great looks. So that is what is called as lackadaisical behavior. So that is leading them to downfall. It is said that 95% of the people are drawn towards you is because of your facial looks. So if you are not having that facial look, people are not drawn towards you. So this is specifically true to a woman. If a woman is beautiful, men are attracted towards her. I'm not saying this is the study shown. It's a study. It's an independent study conducted by certain social groups. So which you know what I mean. So that is the reason. Cosmetic industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Why would they be a multi-billion-dollar industry? Mainly because your facial look matters a lot to them, and women know this. So that's the reason they are tuned to the latest creams and cosmetic products that enhances their facial beauty. Okay, let us not go so much so about these facial concepts, because without the face you have no mind. Okay, so that is to to boil everything down. So the very first point, the very opening sentence to merely say that movie stars perish because of lack of personality is incorrect. It's flawed. They perish because they don't pay much attention, or they take their position for granted. They are not working. They stop to work. At one particular point of time, they would be working 2 hours in the gym to keep themselves firm, to keep themselves fit, to have a great look, right? And suddenly, in no time, when they produce a hit or two, that's it. They go into a state of hibernation. So that is the cause of the downfall. Now, coming back to the first point that Mr. Madan Gowri mentions, he says you need to live for yourself, not for others. Well, that is the sickest thing that you can do. If you want to be attractive, that is the sickest thing that you can do, to live for yourself. You know why? Take the greats of the world, the great people of the world. Take Mahatma Gandhi. He did not live for himself. He lived for the people of India. Take Vivekananda ji. Take Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji. Take Nelson Mandela ji. Take Mother Teresa ji. Right? All these people, all these great people. Of course, this also includes the great scientists of the world, the selfless scientists who had produced great discoveries. They did not live for themselves. Had they lived for themselves, Isaac Newton would never have discovered the laws of physics. Marie Curie would not have discovered the power of radioactive elements. Einstein would not have been called the scientist of the millennium. Schrodinger would not have come out with these discoveries. Johnson would not come out with his own discoveries. Right? Rutherford would not have come out with his own discoveries. So great people there wouldn't be any philosophers. There wouldn't be any psychologists. Everybody would be living for themselves. So how would that make you attractive? That is foolish. So never ever do that. If you want to become attractive to the world, you should develop a lifestyle that takes into selfless living. Of course, I'm not here to talk about selfless living. I'm just here to give you the reaction that I feel with reference to the first point mentioned by Mr. Madan Gowri. Okay, now, becoming attractive, it's a really a relative concept. To whom would you like to become attractive? Would you like to attract the youth? Would you like to attract the middle-aged people? Would you like to attract the senior citizens? So it is, or would you like to attract a beautiful girl, or would you like to attract a influential man? So attraction is actually a relative concept. So you cannot just simply say outrightly, "Wow, I'm giving you 10 tips to become attractive, to make you attractive." No, it's impossible. It's always runs the group which you wish to attract. For example, you wish to attract people who are going to the church. You need to become a pastor, teaching and speaking about the Bible. So there's no point in you becoming attractive if you were to go and talk about cinemas to them. It's simple as that, right? Now, if you wish to attract people who are downtrodden, then you need to become a social activist, right? If you want to attract environmentalists, then you have to get into that area. So the point is, your group that you wish to be, or that you wish to appeal, that would be the prior concern. And based on that group, you need to change and mold yourself. Okay, I'm not going to go into that aspect. Now, coming to the point, what Mr. Madan Gowri mentions, he says, instead of having a 10,000 rupees phone, you can travel from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir with 10,000 rupees and then come back. Okay, you invest 10,000. Instead of investing on your phone, you are investing 10,000 on your mobile, on your travel from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir, and then you stay there and you come back. And then at the end of the day, what are you achieving? What have you gathered? What information have you gathered along your travel? Of course, you have enjoyed the trip. You would meet a few people, and then a few concepts you will learn, and a few different cuisine you would try, and then what else more. But with a phone, you can read the adventures of countless people who have taken the journey from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir, right? Just with the help of your 10,000 rupee phone. So you tell me, knowledge is power, or traveling from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir for 10 days and 9 nights is powerful. So which is powerful? What would you learn? I tell you, even if you take a journey from Tamil Nadu to Kashmir and then come back, the amount of content that you would gather would be nowhere comparable to the amount of content that you would be able to obtain from a 10,000 rupees phone. Remember that. So that the suggestion and the advice that Mr. Madan Gowri gave there is not pertinent. It's not relevant. It would just waste your money. Of course, you can travel, but traveling at the cost of buying a phone, no, I wouldn't even advise that. The next point, Mr. Madan Gowri mentions to have a pet. Is he aware of the expenses that would incur just by owning a pet? Is he ever aware of it? How much money would have to be invested on the upkeep of a dog or a cat? At least 15,000. You need at least 15,000. Now, where are you going to go for that money? Money is not coming up from the skies. Am I right? You need to shell your hard-earned energy into it to earn money. They say earning money. It's not the question of earning money that is bothersome. It's a question of how you're going to earn that money is much more bothersome. So, keeping a pet like a dog or a cat, it's not an easy affair. Long time ago, maybe 40 years ago, you can have a dog or a cat at your yard. But now you have so many regulations. You have so many stipulations that you need to follow. If you have to live in a flat with a dog, you need to obey the set of rules established by the community there. You cannot simply allow your dog or a cat and spread their dirt and filth on the corridor. That's a high level commitment that you need. Do you have the time? Can you invest that level of time? Is it really worth it? Do you have the money to invest? And another thing, if you have allergies, it is estimated that the allergies introduced by animals directly impacts the lungs. And then you have ticks problems that these pets carry. Can you manage them? It is simply easy to just blow your trumpet and say, wow, having a pet will improve your attraction. Excuse me, in what way? Yes, you will smell like a dog or a cat at the end of the day, and then you will be 10,000 or 20,000 rupees short at the minute that you receive your paycheck. Plus the stress and the anxiety and the depression that you will encounter, because you can't just keep these animals caged up in your 4-room apartment, right? You need to take them out for a walk, otherwise they would become sick. And it wouldn't be all that easy to take care of a sick animal. When the animal becomes sick, naturally, if you were to have some kids around you, that sickness will spread. So how are you going to handle these issues? So you better watch out what you desire for. So these advices are not even pertinent to the existing situation that we are living in. You know, people are living in apartments. There are so many issues that they need to deal, right? So think about it. Plants, I'm not sure in what way plants would help you to become attractive. Plus, if you're living in apartments or flats, where are you going to get the sunlight? Right? Sunlight is a luxury now because population has zoomed up like anything. You know, and to get sunlight for human sustenance itself is challenging now. So that wouldn't be an ideal advice. I wouldn't even consider it to be an advice in the very first place. Okay, next, coming back to the styles. Well, what is so bothersome to me is time and again Mr. Madan Gowri belittles Mr. Rajinikanth. You know, he says that Rajinikanth's styles were so childish and cranky. Excuse me, can a child be so much so competent enough to perform even the remotest style that Mr. Rajinikanth can perform? Leave alone all the glamours and the stardoms that he performs. Is it possible for a child to really do that? Impossible. Leave leave alone leave alone all these things. Even his walk, the way he walks, it's all high level thought process that goes behind all these stardom presentations that we see on the silver screen. So he says these things are cranky, and they were viewed like that, and suddenly Mr. Balachandar, director, saw him and then picked him up and used him. Excuse me, if Mr. Balachandar would not have seen him, someone would have seen him. On the contrary, it is not Mr. Balachandar finding Mr. Rajinikanth that mattered to the prospect of Mr. Rajinikanth rising to stardom. It is actually the converse. Because Mr. Balachandar spotted Mr. Rajinikanth, he rose to stardom. Who? Mr. Balachandar. Now his name is idealized, that he had this reputation of bringing Mr. Rajinikanth. You know why? Because Mr. Rajinikanth is talent in multi dimensions. Show me a movie of recent times that can even remotely be compared to the movies that Mr. Rajinikanth has starred. I've seen thousands and thousands of movies, and I've never seen anyone acting in the capacity with such magnetism, on-screen magnetism, to the level of Mr. Rajinikanth. Of course, if you have a style of yourself, you can use it, you can apply them, but not to be worried about people's view. It will be foolish. You know why? Because we are moving towards perfection. We are not completely perfect. We are moving towards perfection, right? To ignore people's views on our styles, it's foolish. You know why? Even the best company which produces its products, they would want their reviews from the customers, right? They want to know if their product is really suiting their needs. So why would you ignore the feedbacks that your friends are giving you, your family is giving you? If they say that the perfume that you're wearing is too strong and it's not really attractive, change it. Don't be foolish, don't be arrogant and saying, no, this is my style. It's your foolishness. Because these are all free reviews, these are all free replies, and it's all free feedbacks that you get. So why would you waste them? So remember, we are all taking a journey, and our destination is not yet arrived. So we need to keep working on ourselves and receiving opinions from people. Next thing Mr. Madan Gowri says, if someone were to ask you for your hobbies, and if you were to say YouTube is your hobby, then people will look down on you. Excuse me, what are you talking? YouTube, it's encyclopedia in the nth dimension, right? Encyclopedia in the nth dimension. There's no comparison comparing YouTube with anything else. If you don't do anything else, if you have nil, in other words, if you do not have any habits at all, you have nothing to do, and you simply on YouTube, that itself is considered to be a sign of geniusness. Okay, so having YouTube as a hobby is not bad. Why would you say it is bad? You can learn so many information from YouTube. You want to study theoretical computer sciences, you needn't even go to the university. You can simply open YouTube and learn theoretical computer sciences. If you want to learn how to play the guitar, you can simply open YouTube and learn to play the guitar. So you become a scholar of multi-dimension if you were to say that YouTube is your hobby. So that's a really completely understatement, a flawed statement, scrupulous to the nth dimension, to say that if you were to say YouTube as your hobby, people wouldn't regard it. That's the way Mr. Madan Gowri's thought process is functioning. I'm so sorry for that. It really saddens me. Regarding the personality, Mr. Madan Gowri mentions that if a boy and a girl were to walk into a hotel room, your eyes will turn. The only way that you will be drawn towards such people is because of the way they dress and the way they look. The complexion matters a lot. The looks matters a lot. So to say that complexion doesn't matter, looks doesn't matter, it's really foolish. So if you are a girl, your face is important. Your face is very critical. You need to apply utmost care in the way your face looks. Face is very, very critical. Of course, if you are a guy, your physique is important. And if you want to really attract a young girl, then you need to wear a good watch. If you wear a Rolex, your attraction level is different, and if you wear Omega, your attraction level is different. So there are different ways in which people are drawn towards your dress. And if you are wearing a good Armani suit, again your attraction level is different. So people judge you by the accessories that go along with you. That is imperative. And another thing Mr. Madan Gowri mentions is you can even travel to Pakistan and find a Pakistani girl. Well, let me give you an advice to young people, young men. Don't ever do that. Don't you ever travel to Pakistan. The chances of you returning is highly remote. And even if you were to meet a beautiful Pakistani girl, the chances of you dating her will ensure you to be locked up in their prison forever. So don't do that foolishness of traveling to Pakistan or dating a Pakistani girl. It's the heights of idiosyncrasies, and Madan Gowri is giving an advice like that, because there are a lot of beautiful people in India. You choose from them. So don't do the stupidity of traveling, taking the advice of Mr. Madan Gowri, traveling to Pakistan, because Pakistan, to every Pakistani, an Indian is their adversary, an Indian is an enemy to them. There's no question of them thinking that, these people are our one-time friends and they are our one-time brothers. No, they wouldn't even watch. They wouldn't have that perspective on themselves. They will butcher you into pieces. So don't do that stupidity. Okay, that's the heights of stupidity. Now, from my perspective, I wish to give you my take on this topic: how to become attractive. Now, the first and foremost thing, as I mentioned to you, all the attributes that Mr. Madan Gowri mentioned can be easily be found even in a beggar. So there's nothing more into that. But to nullify the physical appearance, the facial appearance, is not appropriate, because people look unto you and they judge you more for your face. That's critical. It is more critical even if you are a woman. The facial beauty is critical. Next to your physique, how your body looks. It is said that the moment a person opens the door to enter into the interview room to meet the interview panel, the judgment is made by the very first step he or she takes. So that is the power of the individual who's walking through. So attraction is not just having a style, having a hobby, having a pet, and raising flowers, raising plants. No, or traveling from here to there. No. The attraction starts from the way you upkeep your facials, your face, the way you upkeep your face, the way you upkeep your body, the way you walk, the way you communicate. All those things, they matters a lot. And above all, the accessories that you wear. So if you really want to be attractive, then you have to pay attention to all these. You got to pay attention to all these aspects. Finally, your attraction level will skyrocket based on the confidence that you got very deep within you. No matter what you are or how you are, how confident you are, that would be the final deciding factor in your life. And how would you get that? Merely by realizing your ambition, realizing your goals, what you were born for, what exactly is your purpose on this earth. So nothing can even remotely come closer to that. Why are you associating age with seriousness? There's nothing to do with seriousness and age. Anybody can become serious based on the topic that you're talking on, or based on the requirement of the day or the time. Nothing, it doesn't matter. A 70-year-old can still have his fun. So that is totally immaterial, because you become 70-year-old, you have to don the robes of a saint and walk saintly. It's nothing like that. You only have one life, and this is your body, and you have the right to enjoy. No one can really give a stigmatized opinion. Oh, you're 70-year-old, you have to live like this. Oh, you're 60-year-old, you have to conduct yourself like this. No, 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 no. It is your life. So, good people, it's been wonderful talking to you all, and like and comment and subscribe.